is enough said.
Happy Friday, Heat Nation. Yo, boy Ernest here. Back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Guys, we made it. It is the end of the work week. We got the weekend here. Hope you guys have some great plans. Even if you're just relaxing, enjoying your weekend off, I hope you have an amazing weekend, guys. Now, please join me as we go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. And first and foremost, I want to thank you guys because last night we officially hit 7,000 subscribers. I want to take a moment to thank you guys. You know, I started this channel a few years ago as just a hobby, man. You know, I'm a pro wrestler. You know, I do a lot of things on the side, and I did this as a hobby because I fractured my elbow. I was out for wrestling for 6 months, and within that time, I took my channel from 300 subscribers to 2,000. And I'm thinking, all right, it's time to go all in. And here we are, a couple years later, 7,000 subscribers. That tells me that you guys are enjoying the channel. So I really appreciate y'all. Y'all the real MVPs. But like I said, let's get ready for some Miami Heat Talk adventure. Now, before we get to today's subject, you guys, I do want to mention the Miami Heat have a very important game tonight against the Chicago Bulls. I posted a short on it earlier today, but as we know, the Miami Heat are currently sitting in the 5th seed with a 9-6 record. But you got Chicago in the 7th seed with an 8-6 record. So tonight's an important game. You win this game, you stay in the top 5. You lose this game, you literally go right down to the play-in. That's how close the Eastern Conference is. I did a video about it yesterday, you guys. If you haven't seen it, go check that out after this one. But a few things. No Tyler Hero tonight, but you also don't have Nikola Jovic. He's still going through that hip injury. But now you also have Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins will not be playing tonight. He's officially out. He had a little hip contusion also the last game. So he won't be playing tonight. He didn't travel with the team, which is fine. You know, that's going to happen sometimes. The question is, what's the right lineup with the Miami Heat to go with? You know, I do like Bam Adebayo starting at center and then Kel'el Ware coming off the bench simply because of the rebounding. Because when Bam and Kel'el Ware started together, when they come off the when they go to the bench, you don't really have rebounding presence. At least having Bam and Ware, you know, as a 1-2 punch, Bam starting, Ware coming off the bench, you know, it's been working. I still, in my heart, believe, guys, that when Tyler comes back and this team is fully healthy, starting Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo together should be the way to go, especially towards the playoffs. You want to have that advantage. But as for now, it works. So maybe with Wiggs out, we can go with Jaime Jaquez starting in that position. You know, Jaime is excelling in his 6-man most improved player year award, being that guy. But sometimes your 6-man does need to start in case of injury. But Spo is a genius. He'll figure this out. But in today's episode, you guys, I want to talk about something that's been fluttering out there. Should the Miami Heat explore potentially trading for LaMelo Ball? It was reported yesterday by multiple sources that LaMelo Ball is frustrated with the Charlotte Hornets. And from what the report says, is that he's grown increasingly frustrated with the organization and is open to a trade away from the franchise. Now, Charlotte sucks. I mean, there's no other way around it, you guys. I mean, they're just a losing organization. LaMelo Ball was drafted there in 2020. He's had a great career in the Charlotte Hornets. He's been there for 6 seasons now, but they never win anything. They're always in the bottom of the Eastern Conference. You know, right now they have what's their record? 2-13. I'm sorry. They're 4-11. They lost to the Pacers, who are 2-13. So they're right there in the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Again, they're going to be another lottery team. And, you know, I'm sure, you know, pisses LaMelo Ball off. He wants to see growth. He wants to see change, and that's not happening. But, bro, you're in Charlotte. Charlotte's never been known as a winning organization. The last time Charlotte was known as a winning organization was back in the 90s when they had Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson, and Muggsy Bogues, and they screwed that up by trading Zoe to the Miami Heat. But getting back to LaMelo Ball, you guys. So, my thoughts on LaMelo Ball. I think LaMelo Ball would be a great fit in this Miami Heat roster. You see what he does. This is a guy that gives you anywhere from 23 to 25 points a game. You know, he averages about 6 rebounds, 8 assists. This season, not so great in scoring. He's only played 9 games, averaging 21.6 points a game, 7 rebounds, almost 10 assists a game. Defensively, solid. He's always averaging about 1.5 steals per game. He's 6'7". He plays the point guard position, very tall point guard. So, yes, LaMelo Ball's in a bad team, but if you take LaMelo Ball and implement him on this Miami Heat roster, especially playing with guys like Bam Adebayo and Kel'el Ware, this Miami Heat team, they have a very fast-paced offense. They lead the NBA in offensive rating. But when it comes to playoff time, you may need the pick and roll a little more. And that's where LaMelo Ball is going to excel. LaMelo Ball running the pick and roll with Bam Adebayo and Kel'el Ware could be nasty. He could also space the floor. When he collapses in the paint, teams are going to surround him, and he has the ability to kick the ball out to the open man. On paper, LaMelo Ball would be a great fit with the Miami Heat. But there's a few problems with LaMelo Ball. First and foremost, this is one of the most injury-prone players in the NBA. In his 6th season, he's only played over 50 games twice. His rookie season and then his second season. Second season being the best, where he played 75 games. After that, in the 2023 season, he only played 36 games. The 24 season, he played 22 games. Last year, he only played 47 games. And this season, dude's already missed 6 games. So this is not what I call consistency. And you look at LaMelo Ball's contract, you guys, in the 2024 offseason, he signed a whopper. He signed a 5-year, $203 million extension. He's making $37.9 million this year, $40 million in 2027, $43.5 million in 2028, and $46.3 million in the 2029 season. Now, the way that the NBA is currently going now, this isn't horrible, because you have players making over $50 million, close to $60 million a year. So it is a little bit of a bargain for what this guy can do. But the question is, what do you give up for a LaMelo Ball? Because there's going to be teams that are competing for a guy like this. Now, the trade is obvious, because making around $38 million this year, it's 37.9. The trade is easy. You can do Tyler Hero, Nikola Jovic, and if you want to attach draft capital, it works. Numbers-wise, it works. Fitting-wise, it works. Charlotte gets Tyler Hero, who only has a year and a half left in his contract, so they could either extend him, let him go to free up that cap space, because Charlotte is literally always tanking. And then you can have Nikola Jovic, a project. He signed a 4-year extension. You're going to have him this year and for the next 4 years. So this is a guy that Charlotte can develop around. Nikola Jovic is not playing great with this Miami Heat roster, not because I think he's a bad player. I've mentioned this before. I just don't think the fitting works. I think, there's a lot of problems with the fit. But if you put Nikola Jovic on a team where he can get 30 minutes a game, have the ball in his hands, he'll excel. Nikola Jovic on the Charlotte team can easily average 15 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He could be that type of player. It's just not working on this team because there's only one ball, and there's so many other players that are excelling. So, in conclusion, you guys, do I think LaMelo Ball could be a great fit in this Miami Heat team? Absolutely. But the injuries cause concern. And let's not forget his freaking dad, bro. LeVar Ball, that drama that the BBB Baller brand brings, you guys. And let's not also forget that LaMelo Ball has never really won anything. High school level, collegiate level, he's never really won anything. He's always... he's a great offensive player. He does fancy moves. He's a great shooter. This dude can knock it down from the half court. That's great. But I don't see the drive. I don't see that dog. I don't see that competitive nature. Now, I may be wrong. And let's be honest, Miami Heat have turned guys like that into great players. Look at guys like Dion Waiters, James Johnson, Caleb Martin. This Miami Heat culture takes players and turns them into diamonds. So I'm 50-50 on it, guys. I love Tyler Hero on this team. And look, I know people are going to run to the comments when I mentioned earlier about trading Tyler. I'm going to say this right now. I don't want to trade Tyler Hero. But the way that this team is playing without Tyler, and if Tyler comes back and the fitting is not good, if he's not fitting with Norman and he's not allowing these guys to excel, then yeah, maybe there's a possibility in talking for a trade. But if you're trading Tyler Hero for LaMelo Ball, you're basically putting yourself in the same issue. I think that if the Miami Heat are really looking to trade Tyler towards the trade deadline, it needs to be for a big. The problem that we're having is the rebounding. Now, look, LaMelo Ball is an awesome rebounder for a guard. He could fix that issue. But you need depth in the big man rotation on this team. My opinion. And look, the buyout market doesn't close until March. There may be a big man that gets bought out and that we can jump on. But as far as trading LaMelo Ball to the Miami Heat, I just don't think it's the right fit. But I want to hear from y'all, Heat Nation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to support the channel. Smash that like button. Do not forget to subscribe because now we're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. Train don't stop. Thank y'all so much. Enjoy your Friday. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. And that is enough said.